Hello YouTube, I'm Elwirfy and today we're going to be making another video talking about different, content creator related topics because again, that's kind of my main thing. That's what I like to do. In this video, I actually wanted to talk about something really, really important, which happens to be inspired by one of my friends who also makes YouTube videos. He's another small content creator who actually knew before he had 1,000 subscribers, and he's doing much better than me now, so good job to him. But he ended up not making YouTube videos consistently for a while, and he just made a video talking about it. So I wanted to kind of give my feelings on this because I know a lot of people sometimes, especially smaller content creators, tend to worry about, what people are going to think if they want to take a break or if they maybe are getting tired of making content creation. I know it's a really tough thing. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, and we'll see what he has to say.
All right, here we go. Let's see if I still remember how to talk into a camera. What's going on, guys? It's been a long time. I'm really sorry about that. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Today, I just wanted to talk about why I stopped uploading for so long and potentially why some other small creators might do the same thing. Before we get into it, though, I will say that this is my return to YouTube. I am back. I'm going to be making videos again, so I hope you guys are still here. Now, let's get into it.
Okay, so importantly, for a lot of content creators, I find, for me at least, there was a period, if you look at my early videos, where I didn't upload for about 2 years. That was mainly because, for one, I thought my voice sounded really bad, and two, my parents didn't really believe in me to, didn't see this as like a full-time hobby for me. So everyone leaves for lots of different reasons, but I think the thing that's always kept me here, at least, is the fact that I know I'm building a good community, and that you guys are hanging out, you're having fun, and you're enjoying the videos, even if you're not commenting, liking, or whatever, it's okay. As long as you're watching the video, that's the most important thing, that you guys are being entertained, right? That's at least why I still make videos.
Into it. So the first major reason why I stopped uploading was just a general loss of interest in what I was doing, and I have to imagine that this is pretty common for other small creators too who quit uploading. I think what a lot of people don't really realize is that the vast majority of small creators are not creators first. We are people with lives just like all of you. We're students, we have jobs. My passion is wildlife. I'm a wildlife biology student, and my main goal in life is to aid in conservation efforts.
Okay, so very good point. We all have our own things that we want to do. For example, I ended up, getting married, get a house, trying to, have a family and all that stuff. Before that, I was even trying to be a high school teacher. I got a degree. We have our own lives, of course. Completely agree, 100% with that. And for the loss of interest thing, yeah. I mean, remember that for a lot of small content creators, since we're not getting views, we're not even getting paid, there's almost no incentive actually from YouTube's part to want to encourage us to stay on the platform. Everyone who's a small content creator who stays on the platform typically is doing it because that's what they enjoy. If you lose the enjoyment or you lose the passion for it, you're just not going to be able to make content. The only reason I still make content, to be honest, besides entertaining all of you, is also just because it's fun. I enjoy making it. I really like being able to have something that I can look at and say, you know what? I've actually accomplished something. I have achieved, even if it's not an achievement to some of you. It's an achievement to me. I've done this all on my own. I've built this channel, everything and all that on my own, from my own, sweat and tears, whatever you want to call it, off of just, hanging out with you guys, having a good time, playing video games, talking about important issues, all that absolutely wonderful stuff.
YouTube for me is a hobby that I hope eventually turns into more than that, but at the core of it, it is a hobby, or a side hustle if you want to call it that. And at some point before I quit, in the few weeks leading up to when I stopped uploading, I just kind of thought, I don't really give a shit about the stuff that I'm talking about. I just don't.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. I try and only pick topics that I find interesting to me. That's why all my content, whatever topic is about, will always come back to relate to YouTubers, to relate to small YouTubers, because I really want to foster that community, right? In the Logan Paul video that you saw me make, it wasn't really about the scam and all the drama and all that. It was about how what he did has an impact on content creators, the trust of content creators to their audience, that kind of stuff. I think that it's really good to find exactly what you want to be making content about. And sometimes I don't have anything to say, so I'll make a gameplay of me playing games, because I do still like doing that. I miss Let's Plays. They're long dead, but I do miss them, and I wish they would come back. for me, that was my original passion of wanting to get into YouTube, to make Let's Play videos. Now I do both. And so for him, I'm curious what has inspired him actually to go ahead and come back, since he said he wasn't really enjoying the content he was making. So I'm actually really curious.
Just kind of got sick of clowning on idiot celebrities who I don't even know. It all felt very purposeless for a while, and I'm a very purpose-driven person. So you then might be wondering, Jay, why have you returned then if there's no purpose? Well, there always was, it's just that I kind of forgot it for a while, or it was overshadowed by my loss of interest. And the purpose is to make you guys laugh, to give you guys an escape from your lives, whatever you might be going through, just a place to come hang out with me and have some laughs. And so that's why I'm back. Now, moving...
Yeah, so that's a very good, noble thing, and I completely agree. I think that is a wonderful reason to come to YouTube for anybody who's aspiring to be a content creator. Is, as I've said before in other videos too, you should make stuff that you want to do for you. It's called YouTube. It's not called ThemTube, UsTube, TheyTube. It's YouTube. It's about you making stuff that you enjoy, that you can look back on and be like, hey, I really like that content, or wow, that was a really fun thing that we did. Like there's so much potential that I really do feel like this is a good reason to make YouTube videos. And this video is a good inspiration as to why any small creator should want to keep making videos, even if you're not getting a ton of views, even if you're not making a ton of money. Honestly, especially as someone who's been making videos since 2009, let me tell you, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the enjoyment of building that community and having a good time. Honestly, I really do think that that's the single most important driving factor. Obviously, once you get rich or whatever from YouTube, there is other incentives as well beyond the fun of it, especially if you turn your channel into a company. But I promise you, down to the core, if those YouTubers who make tons of money and are rich and famous and stuff, they could retire really quickly and honestly probably could live a very regular, normal life, but they still do it because it's fun. And I'm telling you, you gotta have fun with this if you're gonna succeed.
Moving on to another reason, burnout. I was essentially spending 8 to 10 hours per weekend making these videos as best as I possibly could. I never half-ass anything. I'm not that type of person. I have to put out the best product possible. And it just grew very tiring because the entire week I'm doing homework, studying for exams, doing all my classwork and working too. And then to use up pretty much my entire weekend on YouTube videos, it did get a little bit tiring. Now,
yeah, so that's a good point. People have lives, and it can be hard to go through the process of editing and recording and making videos. Granted, everyone has different genres of videos as well. The videos that I make are intentionally lower effort so I can produce a lot of content, so that way when my life gets really busy and I'm not able to record. In fact, you guys might not have noticed, but there was a time when I actually didn't record anything for like 3 weeks. But I had a lot of pre-made content that way you guys could still enjoy, and it feels like there's still a lot of content being made. But what I do, honestly, is I go for like a couple hours on like a weekend and I make a bunch of videos, whether that's gameplay or today I felt like doing talking videos. So you're going to see a lot of talking videos, especially for the ones you already saw, but probably more in the future as well. There's a lot of different ways to operate your workflow, and understand that if you're making videos by yourself, it's on you. All the responsibility is on you, and that's another thing you're adding to your life that you technically don't have to do because you have, again, for people like him where he's a student, you got school, homework, probably friends who want to spend time with him, sports. I see his football shirt, so pretty sure he does sports. Whatever it is, you have all these commitments already. YouTube is just another commitment that's always being tacked on. So I don't know what his workflow is. I'm not here to judge his workflow. I don't, it's his own thing. He can make his videos how he likes. But there is something to be said about the type of content you're doing influencing the kind of workflow you have to have. I don't know if he's going to talk about his actual workflow itself, but that would be something I might talk about later. And it's something I've actually wanted to make a video on for a while, is what my workflow actually looks like. So that way you can see a realistic expectation of what it actually takes to make videos.
Now, it is absolutely not like I'm alone here, so I figure this is a major factor in why a lot of other small creators may quit or take long breaks, and I feel that this is often what separates the people who make it from the people who don't. You have to have a very high level of dedication and motivation to continue doing YouTube, and most importantly, a love for doing it, or else you will get burned out. Now, another factor I want to talk about is playing the YouTube game, and this goes along with some other themes I've talked about prior to this point, such as having a growth mindset or having a sort of business mindset about YouTube where you want to grow. It's not just a hobby anymore. But
Okay, yeah. So this is hard to explain without it sounding possibly off. Um, Wanting to grow is just part of the fun, I think, for YouTube. Like, I mean, let's be honest here, guys, right? If I got 100,000 subscribers, I'd probably still be making the same content that I'm making now. I mean, maybe I'd have a bigger budget, maybe stuff would look nicer, but I've always loved YouTube because I like making videos, like to play games, to talk with you guys, to form that wonderful community. No matter how many subscribers I have, heck, I was making videos at 300 subscribers, and I'm still making the same videos, the same style of things that I enjoy making, even though I have almost 800 at the point of filming this video. And I think that's okay. I don't know. I think that obviously you don't want to obsess over growing. Like, oh my God. Like, imagine if I was obsessed with, like, I don't have 1,000 subscribers to the point where I was debilitatingly invested, right? You don't want to do that. I always mention my goals in my videos because I think it's a good way to inspire other people to also want to shoot for their goals. Because sometimes they're like not as confident. Maybe they're not really feeling like they can necessarily do their own goals. So I don't know. I like putting my goals out there in the open and in public so that people know what we're working towards, what we're achieving. So that way they can really feel like they're a part of something that's really growing and having more of an impact on people's lives in a positive way. That's how I view the YouTube game. I'm no intention of making this a full-time job at this point, just due to the fact that I'm working a regular job now. Obviously, I've worked a regular job the whole time I've been doing YouTube, go to work on the grind, in the office and stuff. So, and that's probably going to be true for a lot of you who are also small content creators who are like, what? I thought I'd never work again. It's unrealistic. Honestly, I'd even work even if we were making full-time money on YouTube because I don't think I could do this alone. I need that interaction with other people, outside of my room. So, but hey, everyone's different, and we got to respect that too, guys.
I got into this sort of toxic relationship with YouTube where I would be checking the YouTube studio all the time to look at statistics on my video. I would obsess over every little detail in the description, making sure the keywords were right, making sure my thumbnails would pop out and were colorful, and admittedly I'm probably going to be doing this for this video too. That's always going to be kind of ingrained in me. Now, I don't think there's anything inherently bad about playing the YouTube game. A lot of people enjoy it. In fact, at one point I enjoyed it too, but it's what initially started to shift me away from a hobby mindset, and it ultimately led to me not really having fun with it anymore. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today are hate comments. Now, I am a full-grown man. I'm 21. I don't really give a shit what random people on the internet think of me. In general, like, I've been called fat, ugly, fatherless, neckbeard, all sorts of shit. I don't give a shit about any of that because those people have their own problems in their lives, clearly, if they're leaving comments like that. And so I do feel for them. But what really started to get under my skin...
Okay, right before he gets to that point, hate comments exist. They happen. I think I don't know if I've made a video about that yet, but you're going to see negative comments on the internet. Okay, and maybe it's because I grew up with the internet, but I've never really had a problem with it. People have a right to disagree. That's why I leave my comments open. Heck, I even recently liked a comment on someone who was kind of criticizing my video. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You can criticize it all you want. I'm open to that. I'm not perfect. Nothing I say I think should be taken as like 100%. I've never claimed to be an expert. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just going through the motions of trying to give the best advice that I can to all of you. As a small content creator, of having the experience of making videos for years and years and years and trying to give you guys the best quality content that I can, sometimes I make mistakes. And remember, I don't script any of my videos. You saw me try and script my videos before. It came out like a mess, and I couldn't talk right. It was awful. I don't like scripted videos. I think they're really hard for me, personally, in my workflow. So I just don't do that. Everything you're hearing right now, I am saying, and I'm making up on the spot. And that's just a skill that I've developed. I've done improv classes. I was in drama a lot, when I was growing up in high school and college. So I just have a natural talent for that, and that's kind of my thing, if you want to say I have a thing. So when the people are like leaving hate comments to me, I'm thinking, well, yeah, you can. I don't leave bad comments myself most of the time. I don't think it helps you produce productive conversation, but people got all kinds of messed up lives, and I try not to judge. I don't really worry about it. I used to care what people think, but then I realized that there's horrible people everywhere, and to be honest, I'm not gonna obsess. I don't care. It's fine. You can leave it. Heck, you can leave a bad comment under this video. I'll probably just like it and move on. Probably won't even reply. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll make another video, a part 2 of me replying to YouTube comments. We'll see.
And this may sound a bit ridiculous, were comments calling me a wannabe, specifically a wannabe critical. Now, I've talked about this in the past. I know my voice sounds like him. I have a very similar sense of humor to him, but I never really thought much of it because I knew in my heart of hearts that this is just who I am, and if I'm similar to critical, so be it. But when I started uploading shorts and they wouldn't get very many likes, and the one comment on it would be Moist Critical Wannabe with 5 upvotes and people agreeing in the replies, I started to think, is this all people are ever going to think of me? Am I just doomed to ride the coattails of Moist Critical completely unintentionally?
Well, I didn't realize he was getting so many comments about that one specific thing. That's pretty wild, actually. I don't think anyone's ever compared me to anyone else, probably because there's nobody I really compare to who's worth comparing. You know what I mean? Like, you could compare me to Moist Critical if you want. I made a video talking about his videos before. All he does is just sit and react. I mean, technically what I'm making right now is a reaction video. It's just, to me, what makes my content unique is that I'm doing this in the context of trying to help small creators kind of understand different situations and improve themselves as a whole. For this video, for example, it's talking about the small creator experience, and I want to make sure you guys understand where people are coming from. And it's really hard to relate to certain content creators. So I like to share the word and spread the word on videos like this that can be kind of hard to understand for a viewer if you don't make content and you're like, oh, it looks so easy. It's really not, and so for him, I didn't realize, I'm sorry, dude, by the way, I didn't know you're being compared to a larger content creator. I know that can make you feel, for some people, inferior or like you're not as valuable, but I promise you are. Everyone is their own person, and even if you're being compared to it, personally, I would take it as a compliment because at least they're attaching your content to something they already enjoy. I didn't know they were being rude about it, obviously, but I hope that, clearly you're back, so I hope that inspires you. You want to keep making content, right? Regardless of what people say, I guess, is the nice way of putting it. I want to try and be respectful here. I don't want to say anything harsh because I'm trying to be supportive.
That was very demotivating to me. It gave me kind of a sense of hopelessness about my YouTube prospects, so to speak. Now, I'm sure many other small creators face similar hate comments that just get under their skin, that just kind of hit home for some reason, and so that's probably another major factor in why a lot of them stop uploading. Now, what's funny is I've actually gotten quite a few compliments on my similarity to Critical, and for some reason, the negative ones are what I focus on. I suppose as humans, we do have a negativity bias, so that probably explains it.
Yeah. Okay. I should have just let the video play more. Yeah. See, it's positive. There are positive things to being compared to a larger content creator. Like, I would personally find it a compliment to be compared to anybody, but that's just me. Some people like to focus on the negative comments, and they really drive that home. But you're not always going to be able to necessarily do that. So for me, in watching this, I think I think he should take it positively. I'm glad he's taking it positively. Personally, I think that's what the main takeaway should be.
The reason I've gotten over this is because I have realized I need to focus more on those positive comments, and also I've decided to kind of shift my mindset back to this being more of just a fun hobby than something I'm actually trying to grow. Of course, I would love to grow, but I don't want that to be the focus anymore, because the reason why these comments affected me was because it made me feel a sense of hopelessness about growth. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. If you were a...
Okay, so that was really important to me, that main thing. We're pretty much done. Here, let me switch views. So the final point he made is about how the bad comments made him feel hopeless and not want to keep making videos. And I think there's a lot to be said. Especially on the internet now, you'll notice that people seem a lot more vitriolic. There's a lot more hate that goes on when people make videos. There's all these videos of people like, oh, I don't like you, or oh, I think you're being a bad person, or oh, your morality needs to be in check. There's a lot of stuff that like people will say now that like videos seem a lot more aggressive, and that has resulted in more hateful comments as well, making a bad impact on small content creators who are like, hey, I just want to make something fun. I'm not trying to upset anybody, but inevitably people are going to be upset. You can't please everyone. You can only please the people who essentially want to enjoy your content. But some people go on the internet and they go at it with a negative mindset, I think. And I think that negative mindset is really the driving force of a lot of the negative content. So I would hope that you guys, at the very least, my viewers, would, try and support positivity and generally treating each other nicely. And, if you want to leave a critical comment of me, that's fine. It's okay. You can do that. I'm not going to stop making videos, though. You know what I mean? That's not where this is going at all. So I think that every small creator deserves an equal fair shot to be able to make content they enjoy without having to feel bad about what they're doing. And I want you all to know, if you guys are feeling similarly, if you guys have your own channels, I'd be more than happy to hear those stories out. And I'll make more videos like this if you want me to, reacting to other small creators and hopefully trying to be a little bit more inspirational. Hopefully give a little bit of that positivity boost that everyone really needs right now, especially as we're still technically in a pandemic, although I think it's going away finally. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I genuinely hope you enjoyed. Obviously, your subscription means the absolute world to me. I know it means nothing to you, but it can mean everything to me and other small content creators. Obviously, go like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Not just on my channel, but also on the Life of Jay's channel. He did amazing work. I'll be leaving a description to his channel down below. He's a wonderful guy, and definitely should support him as well. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. I'm Elwirfy, and I will definitely be seeing you guys next time. Take care, everyone.